Hey everyone, Stephen Box here from Vanguard Tactics. So I hope you guys are doing well. And on today's live, we're going to be discussing all things Orks and the new book from Psychic Awakening, Saga of the Beast. So I haven't had a chance to look at the Orc Codex today. Yesterday, I reviewed the Space Wolves, and I've cooked up a really cool list based on exactly what we spoke about from that. I'm also going to be cooking up a nice little Orc list for you. So tomorrow, probably by 5 o'clock tomorrow, gives me a chance to type everything up. I'm going to put that over on the website, www.Vanguard Tactics community page on YouTube and on Facebook, and also send an email out about that on the email list. And you can just sign up to that over on our website as well. So yeah, loads of places you can get that information. So I'm going to put together an Orc list and a Space Wolf list. And then also you can get a chance to download all that stuff and have a look through it for yourselves. So yeah, I'm going to basically be doing my live review today of the Orcs, and we'll see what we're cooking up. So who have we got in the chat so far? Wooden Spoon Wargaming, how you doing? A chance for a Grey Knight video later on. I am not doing any more videos after this one today. Today is my day off. So yeah, I've worked basically for the last 21 days straight, and today is my day off. And I've had a great day today. It's been really enjoyable, really good fun. And what I've done all day today is paint. Okay, so yeah, painted up loads of stuff today. Made some really good progress with the sisters. What have I done today? So I've painted basically I've primed all of my sisters. I've still got everything's all done there. So yeah, since literally 11 o'clock today, primed everything. I've got 10 arcoflagellants painted. I've also got but basically all the skin tones done. I need to add the silver on. I've also painted 9 Repentia fully, so they're all blocked in with 4, maybe even about 6 color schemes, 6 different colors. So I'm really happy with the Repentia. I've then done 15 base coats in terms of the reds. I'm going for like a cherry red color on the sisters. So I've had some really good success today and really good progress, and I want to continue on with that through the evening and see if I can get all those troops and basically my first battalion complete. That'll be a good, really progressive day today. And I'll start smashing videos out as of next week, as per usual. Also, just completed and finally edited the hour-long episode for the Adeptus Sororitas that is going up onto the mentorship program. This is the part 2. The only unfortunate thing I'm having now is such a huge file. I need to try and get it on the internet somehow. So that's my next challenge, is to do that. But really happy with how that lesson in lecture went, and that'll be going on the mentorship program ASAP. So anyway, so who have we got? Chris Wilson, how you doing? Carl, Patsy, Brian, Delaraine, thank you very much for your kind words. So yeah, I think now's also, I completely forgot to tell people, we're actually at a different time now. So this is 6 p.m, but we're in British summertime now. We changed last night. I completely forgot. So there we have it. Look, British summertime now, which means we should get lighter evenings, which will be quite nice. Yeah. So yeah, tell me where you're from. Tell me what you've been doing today. I'd love to know. And we'll kick off this Orcs in about a minute's time. So I'll get everything loaded up. I'm going to enjoy my favorite sweets. These are teeth and lips, 3 for £1 from Spa. So good. Brian, I think I've given you one of these before. Look at them, just little teeth and little lips. They're so good. Absolutely brilliant. So, what have you been? Carl, you said you've been painting. What have you been painting? Tell me. I want to know what you've been working on. Harlequins, good man. That's a slow job. They're not quick, are they, Harlequins? But mildly, when I used to paint my Harlequins, Mildly satisfying. No, Brian, can't ship them over. All for me. Reza, what you been painting? Space Order Limited, good man. Sons of Salamander, eh? Nice. Have been playing Orks versus Chaos Space Marines. How you been doing that? Are you able to not isolate yourself, or you've been playing somewhere else? We're in the UK. We're on total lockdown, so can't leave the house. Reavers and Vanguard. Okay, Reavers. That's an interesting one for Blood Angels. Yep, Carl, get those in the mentorship group. I want to see how you're getting on with those Harley bikes. So, while I enjoy my new list, so when you sign up for the mentorship program, good top work. By the way, guys, if you are interested in signing up and you have any questions whatsoever, now's a great chance to ask me. And also the other guys in the chat as well. Majority of the people on the chat are actually on the mentorship program anyway. So if you want to know what it's like, just ask them, and I'm sure they'll give you a good, honest review of what the course and program's like, what the community. Okay, so where is this book? Saga of the Beast. It loads. Here we go. Now, I do have to warn people, okay? I have a very dry sense of humor. If you haven't got that already from me, I've got a very dry and sarcastic sense of humor, okay? So please take, if sometimes I sound a little bit blunt, it's just my humor, okay? Take it as an endearing, lovable way, okay? I've literally got, I don't have a bad bone in my body, but yeah, it's just my sense of humor. So yeah, very, very stereotypical British sense of humor, I would say I've got. Anyway, so the ways of the Orks. Okay. Right. Not much on that page we need to know about. Ghazghkull looking like a beast. Okay, so there's new Ghazghkull rules, and I have seen this already, and we reviewed this on our podcast the other day, so I'm not going to go over that, but basically, the thing you need to know about Ghazghkull, he's an absolute beast. Okay, so he gets like, that's it, 20 million attacks, and he gets more attacks the more he gets hurt. Okay, but no, he goes from 5 to 7 attacks, hits on 2s, he's basically strength, loads. He's going to be minimum 10 no matter what. Yeah, and I really like, there's a new mechanic here that he can only take 4 wounds per phase, but he is over 12 wounds, which does mean he can get shot, and he no longer has the infantry keyword, which means you can't move through ruins anymore. Bit of a problem. So, okay. Ghazghkull, is he the one that led the war on Armageddon? Something like that. Now, my knowledge of the lore is dreadful. Okay, absolutely dreadful. So, yes, don't ask me any lore-based questions. Yeah, I'm not good. I'm happy to make stuff up, though, for you. I can tell you a nice story, but it won't have any factual base to it at all. I'll just be making up the lore as I go along. And then I'm sure people won't like that. But anyway, if you want, to find out how Ghazghkull and his friends Barry and Dave got on at the Battle of Armageddon, I can tell you who they fought against, Yeah, they sat around a campfire, smoking cigars. They had a lovely time. Anyway, we've got onto the stratagems now. So if you want to hear about the review on Ghazghkull, it was about 20 minutes. We did it on the podcast. You can check that out. The competitive 40k, there's a link to it here somewhere on the playlist. But basically, the key things you need to know about Ghazghkull, as I've already said, he's pretty good. And also, this is the interesting thing that I really love that Games Workshop have started to do, and I really hope they continue to do this. So Games Workshop, if you're watching this, you're probably not, but if you are, I love it that the fact that you've got a like clan orc here. So Ghazghkull is a goth, but he's so cool that he can be taken in any orc army. I love that. I think that's brilliant. I'd love to see that happen with Eldrad as well. So you can take Eldrad in kind of scratchy. Is it better if I sort of, it's probably because I keep moving around all the time. Is that better if I just sort of talk like that? So I'd really like it if Eldrad and all the other cool characters that you can take for all the factions were able to be taken in any army, maybe apart from Space Marines. Okay, because Space Marines are just too different. But in terms of, Eldrad, there's that box that came out with him and the Harlequins. It'd be really cool if you could take Eldrad with the Harlequins as well. But just little things like that would be great. Anyway, so I'll try and stay closer to the microphone and I won't get too excited. I've eaten a lot of sweets today and had a monster energy drink. So yeah. So let's get on to the stratagems. 1 CP, custom job. And now with a custom job, it basically means use this stratagem before the battle. You can have one additional custom job. All custom jobs must be given. So we're probably going to get onto, there's a custom job section. Okay, so I'll tell you what, we'll review that shortly, but we're going to crack on with just the stratagems. 1 CP, the cleverest boss. Use this stratagem before the battle. Okay, so remember, you have to normally put this sort of stuff down in your list. Select one big mech model from your army. Add one to that model's wounds and attacks characteristics and change its weapon skill to 2+. You can also use this stratagem. You can only use a stratagem once per battle. I mean, it's okay. So 1 CP, the Grot Bumper. Use this stratagem in your opponent's phase when an attack made with a ranged weapon successfully wounds a Boomsdacker Snazwagon model from your army. The throw is automatically passed each time that can only benefit from once per battle. Okay, so an automatic pass for saving throw. That's okay. But then the old Boomdacker Snazwagons probably aren't the most competitive choice at the moment, so we probably won't see that a huge amount. 1 CP, some sort of shock drive. I'm not very good with words, as you probably know by now already. Use this stratagem in your shooting phase. After shooting with a shock jump dragstar unit from your army, that unit automatically advances and result is a 4+. Okay, not bad. Again, not the most competitive choice, so I'm waiting for the good stuff. 1 CP, use this stratagem before the battle. Select one war boss. Add 1 to that model's wounds and attacks, and it gains a 4+ and vulnerable save. You can only use this stratagem once per battle, and only if your army does not. Now, okay, so I really like this stratagem, but then I also hate it at the same time, because Ghazghkull's very expensive, and because he doesn't have the infantry keyword, the problem with this now is that, so I can see loads of cool conversions using the Ghazghkull model, and they're just going to make it the biggest boss anyway. They're going to give it the brutal but cunning and the big old claw that people give it anyway. So I think, yes, this is a great stratagem, but you're basically making a much cheaper version of Ghazghkull, which hits extremely hard anyway. So I'm a little bit annoyed by that, because there's no real need to take Ghazghkull if you can just spend 1 CP and buff up. It's a little bit. I don't like the stratagem that allows you to take a souped up. You can only do 1 now, but Ashtaroth, who's these guys are the big bad ones. You know, they're the top dogs, and I think that taking 2 litanies or taking the extra power should be designated to only named characters, because otherwise we don't see enough named characters on the table anyway. We just see so many. I've got a chapter master, I've got an orc thing, and it's just like I want to see these really cool characters that have, not that I'm great with lore, but some lore behind them. So yeah, a little bit gutted about that, but anyway, it's a good stratagem. It's very, from competitive standpoint, extremely competitive. From more of a sort of fluffy narrative side of me, I don't like it so much, because I'd like to see Ghazghkull on the table a bit more. Okay, here we go. 1 CP. Use this stratagem before the battle. Select 1 looters or burner boys unit from your army that contains 9 or less models for 1 CP, or the looters burner boys from your army if it contains 10 or more is 2 CPs. Whilst this unit contains 1 or more spanners, you can roll 1 additional dice and discard 1 when determining number of shots for burners or death guns. That is incredible. That is absolutely amazing stratagem for 2 CPs. You're definitely taking that on your looters, because the likelihood is now that you're at least going to get the double shots rather than just a single, because they have a D3 shot weapon, and being able to roll 2 dice and pick the highest, you've got a very high likelihood that you're going to at least get the 2, probably get the 3, and I really like that. Really like it. That's a fantastic stratagem. Like, that really helps the competitive play. So already 2 banging stratagems. The big boss and the clever spanner. 2 fantastic stratagems in that orc book. Orcs have just gone up a notch. Okay, just by those 2 stratagems alone. 1 CP. Use this stratagem in your shooting phase when a custom booster blaster unit from your army is chosen to shoot with until the end of your turn. Burner exhauster, range 12. Okay, I mean, not incredible, because the buggies look really sweet, and I actually bought 3 of the scrap jets because I think they look mint, and their rules are okay, but they're probably one of the better units. Yeah. So here we go. Flying Edbutt, 1 CP. Use this stratagem at the end of your movement phase. Select 1 orc unit from your army that has the flyer battlefield roll. That model is reduced to 0 wounds and automatically crashes and burns. Do not roll. That's good. That's really good. Just fly that plane over, boom, blows up. And I think one of their flyers does D6 mortal wounds. I think. Could be wrong, but I think it's that. So I'll check later though, when I get the Orc Codex up. Full speed lads. Use a stratagem in the charge phase after charging with an orc biker or death killer war trike. Okay, unit from your army until the end of the fade. Add 1 to the strength characteristics. Pretty decent on a big old unit of bikes. Jack runs a big unit of bikes, and they can be absolutely devastating, making them an extra strength for 1 CP. That's a huge force multiplier. That is excellent. Really like that for 1 CP. Those are the sort of stratagems we're looking for, where you can strategically place these buffs and abilities on a unit to get maximum leverage out of it, so that you can really ensure that you are, getting the most out of your units, which then means great big unit of bikes now. Max out that squad as big as you can go. Put all the buffs and abilities on it, and I think they get some really cool stuff from the Vigilus Defiant as well, where Jack's doing some crazy stuff like moving lots and stuff. I mean, I'll have a little look at the their detachment in a bit, but if there's time, we'll keep cracking on. But there's some really cool stuff in that Defiant. I just haven't looked at it in a while. So Brian said Stephen can't even speak normal English. We should disallow the fake English. Who's got fake English? Anyway, so Brian, it's water, not water. Okay, just just reminding you. You've probably forgotten. So here we go. The squig bombs. Use this strategy in your movement phase after moving a blitz bomber model from your army until the end of the phase. Add 1 to the roll for that model's boom boom ability. Okay, so you could probably combine this with blowing himself up. It's quite good. So you could probably go over, boom, 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 get the +1, 1 CP, blow yourself up, another CP, couple of CPs burnt, but probably a huge amount of damage going on right there. Right, okay, so it's Basil, not Basil. Basil. Okay? That's how you say it. Basil. Something shells. Special. I see what they've done there. So, some sort of special shells here. Use the stratagem in the shooting phase. When a flash gets unit from your army is chosen to shoot with until the end of the phase, increase the range. That is excellent by 12. The only problem with that, 2 CPs for an extra range 12. I would have expected that to have been like a 1 CPer. 2 CPs, a little bit steep in my opinion, but could be good. Flash kits are not bad. They're very, very good. Chris Rogers has said, how would you play Crimson Fists Primaris? How would I play them? I mean, that is a very open question. How would I play them? Obviously, they're going to get a lot of benefit, lots and lots of MSU style build with as many bolt guns as possible. You're looking at 3 units of eliminators, maybe 6 units of 5-man intercessor squads, maybe 3 units with stalkers, 3 units with rapid fire weapons, and that's going to build a pretty good core base, I think. Pedro Cantor's definitely got to go in there because he's just a beast. So yeah, they got some good stuff though. Right, but anyway, we'll try and keep this lesson, or this lesson. That was earlier. I was recording a lesson. This video, let's keep it as much to Orks as possible, and then tomorrow I'll answer questions again. Okay, so tomorrow going live at 6 p.m. British summertime, so it's 23 minutes past 6 right now. So note down our 6 p.m. so you know. But yeah, it's our daylight savings time now. So 1 CP patch up. Use this stratagem at the start of any turn. Select 1 Morkanort, Gorkanort, or Stomper unit from your army until the end of that phase. That model is considered to have double the wounds. That's really good for 1 CP. Absolutely brilliant. So 2 CPs, unstoppable momentum. Use this stratagem in your charge phase. When an Orc unit from your army has finished a charge, move and dealt 1 or more mortal wounds to an enemy unit. If that Orc unit is no longer within 1 of the enemy unit, it can immediately be chosen to charge with again. Okay. I mean, that's pretty good. 2 CPs. That's good, yeah. Get another charge on the go. Really, anytime you can increase the movement on a unit is absolutely fantastic. So wanting to get back into 40k after nearly a decade, good man, and thanks for checking out Vanguard Tactics. I really appreciate it. Is Orks a good entry faction for me to do this with? Very cool, but in my opinion, there's a little bit of a barrier to entry, and that is the amount of models that you're going to need to build a competitive Orc army. And with that, with lots of models comes a higher cost normally, and also a huge amount of building time, a huge amount of painting time, that all needs to go into essentially, bringing this up. Hang on, just lots of shouting going on outside. I'm going to shut this window. Sorry about that. So yeah, there's just a huge barrier to entry, I think. Basically, my recommendation, if you're going to be starting a new army, I built pretty much an entire Grey Knight army in 3 hours. and it's going to be even easier to paint. Okay, so start with a very kind of very simple army, but it's really powerful on the tabletop that you can really enjoy. An army that has very, very similar units. The reason why that's important is because you can just get really used to how they work and absolutely smash it with those units. When you've got so much variety, there's so many ways it can break down, and that can often be a problem and also quite frustrating. So yeah, but if you're thinking about getting back into the game, then like from a list design perspective, I go into so much detail on that on literally module 1 of the mentorship program. All the links for that are below, and you can get access for that 2 weeks free trial while this whole coronavirus is going on. Then I've also added on one of the later modules, which you normally get quite later on, a few months later, because you get a new lesson every week. I'm actually doing that at week 3 now, so you can start practicing some of the skills that you need as well. So check out the link below, and if you want to start list designing, I answer people's questions on lists every single week in our private community group. I get a lot of people emailing me their lists to have a look at, but I just physically do not have the time to just obviously critique lists. It takes a long time to do that, write feedback. So obviously I give that to the guys that are on the mentorship program in that community group, because otherwise I'd be doing all this work, and it is now work for me. I wouldn't be able to earn any money, basically. So we've got a question here. VT, your membership, is that specifically for ITC format, or do you do chapter approved meta as well? It caters for both. I have aspects like in terms of 40k, there's not really much difference between the two, only the mission set. But in terms of everything else, like what we're going over right now, about what's competitive in terms of these orc builds, this would be the same if I was playing WTC, chapter approved, ITC. The only thing it slightly changes is when you're looking for maybe like the amount of models you have in units, so that you give up a kill more or hold more. I do talk about some point management in terms of an ITC, but I'll also be doing the same later on for the chapter approved. So there's going to be certainly so much there in a lot of the phases of the game, teaching people how to wrap and trap effectively. It doesn't matter what you play, those skills are set. Okay. But like I said, guys, if you want more help, join it, take a look, join the community group. You'll get loads from it. Again, there's content going to be in there every single day, little lessons that you can take a lot from. So where do we get to? Use this stratagem in your movement phase after selecting an enemy unit from the burner bomb's ability. The burner bomber from your unit. Select another enemy unit within 6 of that unit you selected. Roll a d6 for each enemy model in that unit up to a maximum of 10. 5+ does a mortal wound. So really adding on, I can see the synergies here. A lot more strength now to the flyer rolls that the orcs have, and you could maybe take 6 of those. You could have 3 burners, 3 of the other one, the blitz bombers, auto explode one per turn, and it'd just be a huge amount of mortal wound output. And the reason why that's strong is because it breaks up this castle-based armies that we're seeing all the time. Because when you've got an army in a real condensed area, they're extremely strong. Okay, it's a bit like the Spartan effect. Okay, so every man is basically protecting the guy to his right, protecting the guy to his left. But when you can disrupt that, and even having the threat of it can often put somebody off their deployment, which is extremely strategic and tactical, because now you're starting to affect their mindset. You're starting to affect that they're playing the way that they want to, and you're making them play the game that you want them to play. Okay, which is not the game they want to play. And I know that sounds a bit strange, but actually it's huge when it comes to on the tabletop. Using some of this stuff to your advantage is absolutely brilliant. Dreaded Death Machine. Use this stratagem in the fight phase. When a Death Dread unit from your army is chosen to fight until the end of that phase, each time an enemy model is destroyed as a result from an attack by that unit, you can immediately make an additional attack. It's really good for 1 CP. That is fantastic. Really, really good. Vlog sent, I've just started Warhammer in January and trying to get an Imperial Guard army together, thinking of a new detachment of Scions because they look cool. Do you think this will work out well? So probably not Scions. Guard infantry are pretty good. You could do a Scion detachment, a little cheeky battalion. They are very cheap. You can keep them in reserve. That's, it could be quite tactical just to throw them in places you need to, but don't start loading them out in terms of just plasmas and stuff like that. Use them to fill out detachments. Use them to move down on the table strategically, but tank commanders are certainly the way forward with Guard. Look at the basilisks; they're really, really good as well. So yeah, loads of good stuff. Yes, there is a Vanguard Tactics Discord channel, and will be for everyone who's on the mentorship program. I've literally been designing that as we speak. So we've got different channels for different things. So we've got one of the channels is a training room where we're going to help people, go over some training techniques that I'm thinking of. That's going to be every Wednesday night. We're going to have essentially another place for lists where you can check each other's lists, get help, critiques from the coaches and the Vanguard tacticians. You're also going to have on there tournament help. So if you're at an event and you need help with what does this list do, that is where I will get personal notifications. So if you're in an event and you need help, I'm on it. Okay, I'll be getting those notifications. So if you're saying to me, Steve, I've no clue what Hive Guard do, I'll tell you exactly what you need to be aware of before your next game. So yeah, and all that support is going to be on the Discord channel, and obviously just open chats and all that other stuff, hobby progress, loads of good bits and bobs. Okay, now what we got next? Use this stratagem in the fight phase when a Meganobs unit from your army is chosen to fight with until the end of the phase. Add 1 to the damage. That's incredible for 1 CP. Absolutely incredible. So that's the stratagems. So on the whole, fantastic. Like Orks have now got a load of extra cool new abilities. Really strengthen some of their more underpowered units like the Death Dreads, the Mega Knobs. They were already competitive anyway, so just giving them that +1 damage. Sticking those flyers in, it's a good option. Looters having a lot more reliable chance of getting those extra shots now. When you start to double shoot them, is going to be very, very good. So yeah, brilliant. When you include, so hang on a second. Okay, there's a huge page here about specialist mobs. Some orcs form specialist mobs, greenskins who share an enthusiastic... When including a clan unit from your army, instead of nominating which clan it's from, and you can instead nominate a specialist mob it's from, you can simply replace the clan in every unit's datasheet with the name of your chosen specialist mob. The specialist mobs are the following, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Right, so let's have a look at this. You can re-roll any of the dice when determining the number of shots made for burners, scorchers, burners, burner, killer jets, scorch missiles. Okay. Pretty good. But probably you don't see a lot of those units now. Now you've got, and again, you could just, essentially, this is a little bit like your custom chapters. You're just going to pick one though, not two, like you do in the other book. Yeah, I said burners like 3 times because it literally says burners about 37 times in here. Sneaky Devils, infantry only, excluding Gretchen. Whilst a unit from this army, as the subculture is on the or within it gains a 5+ vulnerable save. Okay. And you improve the AP. Again, too situational. Boom Boys, blow it up. Improve the strength and armor penetration from characteristics of rocket and stick bomb weapons. Okay. As well as tank buster bombs. Nice. And rocket launchers. So giving that extra AP on that is brilliant. Really, really good. Flyboys, crucial velocity. Fly model only uses when resolving an attack made with a ranged weapon against a unit with a subculture more than 1 inch away. Okay, you get the benefit of cover. Not that great when you've got orcs. Gretchen model only. Okay, this is good. Models in a unit with the subculture gain a 6+ invulnerable save. Nice. When resolving an attack by a vehicle, you can reroll the hit roll of 1. This is excellent. This is absolutely fantastic. So now smasher guns can start to reroll 1s. That is brilliant. That's really, really good. Definitely taking that. Tinheads, killer cans, death dreads, mega armor, Morkanauts, Gorkanauts, etc. and stompers only. When resolving an attack made by a melee weapon, add 1 to the hit roll. Very good. That's very good. Feral Orcs, Warboss, Weird Boy, Knobs. Like giving that +1 to hit with those killer cans now, they've got some play. Death Dreads +1 to hit. Could be onto something here. Okay, right. So Warboss, Weird Boy, Knobs, and Boys only, excluding bikers and mega armor. Models in the unit with this subculture can pile in 6. When making an advance roll for the unit with this subculture, roll 2 additional dice and discard 2 of the result. So they're basically advancing like Kraken Gene Stealers. This is excellent. So feral orcs, I could see some big units of boys, maybe 120 boys on the table with this feral orcs. Again, anytime we can increase the movement, getting an extra, you're basically on 3 dice, you're averaging a 5 or a 6 every time for your advance. And then being able to then, it's just so good. So good. But we'll see if it's better than Evil Sons, which is +1 advance in charge. So, but it's very good though. Frantic, infantry and biker units, excluding Gretchen at start of each battle round, roll 1d3 and consult the table. Again, you don't really want something that's going to be unreliable. Okay, cool. Custom jobs. This is what we spoke about earlier. So this is obviously their kind of relics. I'm assuming this is a bit like the new Tau stuff. If your army includes 1 mech boy workshop, now that's a problem straight away. And the problem is a workshop is a fortification, I believe. Could be wrong, but I believe it's a fortification, which means you only can take 2 detachments now if you want to take this. Yeah, all of the custom jobs that you include must be given to different ones. Note that some of the custom jobs were weapons that replace one of the model's existing weapons. Yeah, so this is going to be a really bad problem for people because orcs need their triple battalion really to get enough CPs to fuel the orc horde. But having to sacrifice one of those for a mech boy workshop to get some of this stuff, it better be really good. That's all I'm saying. So speed freaks, excluding named characters, basically battle wagons and trucks and stuff, get an extra 2-inch move. It's okay, but not worth losing that battalion for. So Trey said you can pay 1 CP for a custom job instead of paying for the fortification. Okay, so let's have a look at that stratagem. Custom job. Use this stratagem before the battle. Your army can have 1 additional custom job. 1 additional custom job. Now, I don't know if that... I would read that as, unless this gets FAQ'd, you already have to have 1 custom job to then get an additional for 1 CP. I don't think that is... If it said use this stratagem before the battle, your army can have 1 custom job. That's different to 1 additional custom job. So I think there is a slight change there. But we'll have somebody said have a look at page 68. Okay, custom jobs. You'll find new rules for custom jobs. These are new upgrades available for various orc units in your army, courtesy of the Genius Orc. These rules can be used with a mech boy workshop or by using the custom. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, they have clarified that there, that you can use that for 1 CP, but so it does say on, or by using the custom stratagem on 72. So it's a little bit confusing because the stratagem, I would say, doesn't allow you to do it, but the verbiage on page 68 would hint that you can, or say that you can. So let's just say you can for now. But again, an FAQ will probably come on that. But as far as I can see, it says on 68 you can, so let's go with it. But you have to pay a CP for one of these, which is a bit of a shame anyway. Speed Freaks, excluding named characters, like I said, +2 move. The Snazwagon souped up sort of shells, range 30, assault 15, strength 4, -1 damage. Nah, it's not good enough. Not for 1 CP. Shock attack, dragster. Doesn't suffer the mortal wound. Not great. Here we go. Now remember, the unit separates into 3. So they are bought as a unit. If a unit as a custom job is treated as a separate unit once the model has been deployed, all of the units. So if you pay for this in your battle sheet, then even when you're deployed and they act as separate units, they still get it. And I'm really glad GW have included that verbiage in here just to clean that up a little bit, because that was one thing my brain was thinking. As I've said, guys, this is my live reaction. I haven't read this before, so I'm going off flat what you're hearing me now. And I thought it'd be good for you to see how actually I can get confused with stuff as well, what goes through my head when I'm looking for things, rather than just a predetermined, this is that, and this is good, and this isn't. So yeah, really sort of like I'm literally talking out loud as I'm reading through all this. So this is what I'm looking for. The Megatrack Scrapjet. Unit only. The first time this unit finishes a consolidation move in the fight phase, it can immediately fight again. So you've basically got fight twice scrapjets, and they're very good. I think they're really, really good. That's definitely paying a 1 CP for that. So add 1 to the rune roll for some squig buggy. Probably not. Death Killer Wartrike, add 4 to the range of the killer. No. Instead of, I think it's normally D3, so assault 6. It's okay, but not worth a CP. This isn't bad. Battle Wagon, Bonebreaker, or Gun Wagon model with a killer cannon. 36 heavy, 2d6, strength 8, -2, 2 damage. It's quite good, but 2d6 is just unreliable, really, to invest 1 CP. So we've then got Battle Wagon, Bonebreaker. We've got a quick question in the chat here. Any expectations for War of the Spider? I don't like to, I've said this before, I don't like to sort of try and predict too much, because it doesn't really get me anywhere by doing that. Because if I predict stuff and it doesn't happen, then maybe I'm going to be disappointed. So yeah, I just kind of, I can't change it. So yeah, what will be, will be. Okay, let's have a look at this. The Fortress, the Battle Wagon. So the save gets a 3+ save and a 5+ vulnerable save. That's pretty good. Oh, you don't have to apologize. Do not apologize whatsoever. So interesting conversation, but in terms of like what we would get and stuff. But I don't know. I just think sometimes you set yourself up for disappointment. If it isn't quite what you would hope it is. So just let it be what it is. What's here? This is quite good with the Bonebreaker. Add an extra 6 attacks. I like that. Here we go. Killer Cans, Death Dreads, Morkanaut, or Gorkanaut. Add unit only. Add 3 to the unit's move characteristics. You can re-roll advance rolls for the unit. That's pretty good. Yeah, adding 3 to the movement. Let's have a look at this one. Killer Cans, Death Dreads, Morkanaut, or Gorkanaut unit. Improve the unit's ballistic skill characteristic by 1, so it becomes 4+. That's okay. For 1 CP, that's not bad. Killer cans or death dread units only. When resolving attack with a ranged weapon. When resolving attack made with a ranged weapon against this unit, make a -1 to hit. Now that isn't bad for 1 CP on a unit of killer cans or death dreads. Yeah, -1 to hit, 1 CP. Yeah, I mean, I paid 2 to lightning fast a plane. So for Eldar, 1 CP, great. Morkanort, use this. No, not really fussed about that one so much. Gorkanaut, Morkanort only when rolling determine the damage characteristics for the crush profile with the cork. Anything less than a 4 counts as a 4. That's quite good, actually. Stomper. This model's Super Gatler has a damage characteristics of 2. In addition, when re-rolling it's just too expensive, unfortunately. So yeah, they are that. Then we're on to clan psychic powers. And there's one here for every one. So I'll quickly whiz through these Goths. If manifested, select one for any Goth unit. Until the end of the phase, charge distances of 7 rolled for that unit. Count is 7. That's really good. Really, really good. So now you've basically got the Evil Sun's ability to get the extra to the charge. Let's read that again before I get that wrong. Until the end of the turn, charge distances of less than 7 rolled for that unit. Okay, no, I've read that wrong. So basically this is saying if you roll anything less than a 7, it's a 7. Okay. But that does mean things, and that's after modifiers. So if there's anything that's minusing charges, like Thunderfire cannons, Trinebral curse and stuff that halves your charge, then that's good. So it just counts as a 7, regardless of modifiers, basically, as far as I'm reading that, but I could be wrong. But that's pretty good. It just seems you can't come in, you can't jump away. It would be a bit useless on that. Yeah, terrain as well, yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at the Death Skulls one. If manifested, select enter one enemy unit till the start of your next phase. Subtract 1 from the hit roll. I mean, it's okay. But cast on a 7. But then Orks don't really worry about casting values. They normally get that off. Bad Moons. As a warp charge of 6. Select one friendly Bad Moons unit until within 18. When resolving attack made with that unit, add 1 to the saving throw. It's good. If you've got an Orc boy, an Orc looter in terrain, and you're getting that +1, that's pretty good. Yeah, you got the extra AP on that Death Skulls thing as well, which is also quite good. That, yeah. But it's against that enemy unit, which also means you have to be within 18. And typically your psychers aren't probably getting that close. And if you are getting that close, maybe they can deny it. So, and if you are getting that close, maybe you won't have all the boys around you to sort of support the extras that you need to get the 7 off. Who knows? Could be too situational. Next one is Snake Bites. If manifested, select one enemy unit within 12 until the next half the attacks. I mean, that is good, but again, you've got to be within 12 inches. You could jump him over, then use it on a unit. You know, on a knight or something. Is it infantry only or what? One enemy unit. So yeah, that could be really, really good. Evil Sons. Warp value is 6. If manifested, select one friendly Evil Sun's vehicle unit from your army within 12 of this vehicle. You can only select the unit with a wounds characteristics of 18 or more. The result is a psychic testament. You can reroll a hit roll. Good. That's good. Blood Axes, Clever Talk. As a warp value of 6, which I like. In manifested, select one enemy unit visible to the psyker until the start of your psychic phase. That unit cannot fire Overwatch it Blood Axe units from your army. That's really good, and cannot fire Overwatch, and cannot be chosen to fight with until all eligible Blood Act units have done so. That is excellent. Like, you just have to see it. There's no range on that. That is brilliant. Like, really strong psychic power. Anything that has got that range and that potency, that's a brilliant stratagem, because Orks really suffer to Overwatch. Yeah, they just don't have the armor save to keep them alive. Freebooters, value of 6. If manifested, select one enemy unit with an 18. Half the move, subtract 1 from the advancing charge. It's not great. So anyway, that sums it up, guys. That sums up the Orc review. So I'm going to have a little think about an Orc list. I've got my Space Wolf list down. And it's all going to be on the blog page tomorrow. And you can check that out on the website, www.vanguardtactics.com/blog/Saga of the Beast. All lowercase, Saga of the Beast. And go and check that out. I'll put it all up there so you can download those lists, okay? Yeah. Anyway, guys, let me know if you've got any more questions. But I think on the whole, it's going to take me, a little bit more time to read through this, take it all in, summarize it, make some notes. But they're my thoughts. I think there's some really good stratagems in there that I can remember. That definitely the Looters one, maybe some Death Killer. I'll speak with Jack as well. Jack's our kind of like resident Orc player. So we'll see what's that all about. So, guys, if you get any questions, let me know. I'll answer any questions now. Obviously, if you're keen to join the mentorship, but you've got questions, let me know what they are now. And obviously, I can answer, or some of the other guys can answer on what it's like. But yeah, it'd be great to see you in there at this time. I'm making a real conscious effort to, while this whole coronavirus is going on, to increase as much content as I possibly can, and really set things up and lay the foundations for the future for Vanguard Tactics mentorship program. So yeah, I'm capping spaces at 200 as well. In those spaces, we're getting about 2 to 3 new signups a day. We've hit over 50% capacity now on the mentorship, and also every person that signs up, I'll be donating $1 per person per month to charity, and that will go to charity to support men that are suffering and need help in terms of whether they suffer from anxiety or depression or those things like that. I just want people to lead a happier and healthier life, so I'll be doing what I can to support charities, to basically give back to as much as possible, because the community's given me so much. 40K's given me so much, so I really want to start to give that back. When are you dropping the free video from the mentorship you mentioned on the podcast? I'll do that tomorrow. I need to film an intro for it, so I need to film an intro and I'll get that out tomorrow. But yeah, I've been kind of working 14-hour days at the moment. And it was just one of those extra things that I couldn't fit in yesterday, and I needed to take a day off. And obviously, this is technically work, but I committed to doing the 21 days of going live at 6 every day. It was meant to be for 15 minutes, but obviously I'm here for now an hour. Can't shut me up, which is the problem. But yeah, I will get that out this week. And then all the other, so that's 1 of 8. One of the ones I'm dropping will be 1 of 8. All the other 7 you get on week 3 now of the course, while we're in lockdown. So just to keep people busy and, make sure people are keeping active and things. Yeah. Right, guys. Flaw 3, can't shut him up. Yep, that's my other. I've got many flaws, okay? Grammar and spelling is one of them. Overly sarcastic and dry, number 2. Can't shut him up, number 3. I've got many flaws, so we can make a list. But anyway, guys, one thing I'm very proud of is the mentorship program. So yeah, I'm really proud of that, like a proud dad, Anyway, if I see you over in there, I'll see you in the week. And if not, I'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock British summertime. And we can go over more general questions. Have a think about some questions for me. And yeah, we can go over those tomorrow. Take care, guys. Have a safe evening. And yeah, do what you can to stop the spread of coronavirus. Stay at home. See you later.